The gravel crunched under my sneakers like shattered glass, each step echoing the fracture in my chest. Wyatt's hand gripped my arm, firm, unyielding, as if he'd been waiting years to anchor me right there on that fog-shrouded trail. "Alex," he whispered, voice raw like he'd swallowed thorns. "I can't pretend anymore. It's you. It's always been you." I froze, heart slamming against my ribs, the world tilting as his lips crashed into mine. Fierce, desperate, tasting of salt and unspoken secrets. My brother's best friend, the guy who'd crashed on our couch 100 times, was kissing me like the sun was setting on us forever. And in that stolen breath, everything I thought I knew about family, loyalty, and the quiet ache inside me splintered into 1,000 jagged possibilities. The alarm on my phone buzzed like a hornet trapped in my skull, yanking me from a dream where shadows chased me through endless Seattle rain. I slapped it silent and rolled out of bed, the worn hardwood floors of our family home in Capitol Hill groaning under my weight. At 22, I was still crashing in the upstairs bedroom like some perpetual college kid, textbooks scattered across the desk like casualties of war. Downstairs, the smell of Dad's overbrewed coffee wafted up, mingling with the faint, ever-present dampness of the Pacific Northwest air seeping through the cracks. "Alex, you up yet? Wyatt's gonna be here in 10. Sam's voice boomed from the kitchen, all gravel and good-natured impatience. My older brother, the golden boy at 28 tall, broad-shouldered, with that easy grin that made him the king of every backyard barbecue. He worked construction downtown, building high-rises that scraped the moody Seattle sky, and his life was a straight line. Work hard, love easy, laugh loud. No detours, no doubts. I yanked on a faded Mariner's hoodie and joggers, glancing at the mirror. Messy brown hair that refused to comb, hazel eyes shadowed from too many late nights scrolling through anonymous forums, places where guys like me whispered about the things we couldn't say out loud. Not yet. Not to Sam, who thought faggot was just locker room trash talk from our high school days. Not to Dad, who'd buried Mom's cancer diagnosis under a stoic silence that stretched 5 years now. And definitely not to myself. Wyatt. The name hit like a rogue wave. Sam's best friend since they bonded over stolen beers at a Mariners game back in '09. He was the wild card 30, freelance photographer with a beat-up Jeep and a laugh that could cut through fog. Lean and wiry, with ink-black hair that fell into his blue eyes like he didn't give a damn, and tattoos snaking up his arms from gigs in dive bars and music festivals. He'd show up unannounced, camera slung over his shoulder, spinning tales of chasing sunsets in the Olympics or dodging paparazzi in LA. Sam idolized him. I tried not to stare too long. By the time I hit the kitchen, they were already shoulder to shoulder at the counter, demolishing Mom's old recipe for blueberry pancakes. Dad was at the table, buried in the Seattle Times, muttering about the Mariners' latest slump. "Morning, kid," he grunted without looking up, his voice a low rumble scarred by years of sight-form and yells. "Mornin' da." I grabbed a mug, pouring coffee black as the sound on a stormy day. Wyatt glanced over, that crooked smile flashing like a warning light. "Hey, Alex. Ready to eat our dust today?" I snorted, sliding onto a stool. "In your dreams, Shutterbug. Last time, I left you wheezing by the reservoir." Sam barked a laugh, clapping Wyatt on the back. "Don't listen to him. Kid's got legs like a gazelle but lungs like a chain smoker. We're doing the full loop today, 5 miles. No mercy." The plan was simple. Our ritual Sunday jog along the Burke-Gilman Trail, that ribbon of crushed stone winding through Seattle's green veins, past breweries, under graffiti-splashed bridges, hugging the ship canal where herons stabbed at the water like feathered assassins. It started as a way for Sam and me to reconnect after I bailed on football for art school at UW. But Wyatt tagged along last summer and now it was gospel. Dad stayed home, claiming bad knees, but really, I think he just liked the quiet. We piled into Wyatt's Jeep, the engine growling to life with a throaty purr that matched his vibe, untamed, a little reckless. Sam rode shotgun, fiddling with the radio until it spat out some grunge relic from the 90s, Nirvana's wail cutting through the mist. I wedged in the back, knees to chest, stealing glances at Wyatt's profile in the rearview. The way his jaw tightened when he focused on the road, the faint scar above his lip from a skateboarding wipeout he never fully explained. What was it about him that made my stomach twist like I'd swallowed live wire? The trailhead parking lot was a ghost town at 7 a.m., the fog thick as cigarette smoke, muffling the distant hum of I-5. We stretched in silence, the ritual of it all hamstrings, quads, that deep lunge that always made Sam groan like an old man. Wyatt caught my eye during a quad pull, holding it a beat too long. "You good, Alex? Look like you saw a ghost." I shrugged, heat creeping up my neck. "Just the usual." "Fog's got me thinking too much." He nodded, slow, like he knew. "Yeah, it does that." We took off at an easy clip, the trail unfolding like a black and white film reel. Skeletal maples clawing at the gray sky, the canal's surface rippling with secrets. Sam led, his strides eating ground, trash-talking over his shoulder about some bar fight Wyatt dragged him into last weekend. "Dude, you owe me for that black eye." Chick thought I was the one starting shit. Wyatt laughed, that low rumble that vibrated through me. "You were the one spilling her drink. Golden boy." I just photographed the aftermath. I hung back a step, letting their banter wash over me like rain on a windshield. This was normal. This was us. But lately, every glance from Wyatt felt loaded, like he was framing me through an invisible lens, capturing angles I didn't know I had. Last month, at a bonfire on Alki Beach, he'd slung an arm around my shoulders, casual as hell, but his thumb brushed my collarbone and lingered. I told myself it was nothing. Brother's friend. Off limits. But the forums I'd lurked on, those raw confessions from guys in small-town America, hiding crushes behind high fives, whispered otherwise. 2 miles in, Sam slowed, hands on knees, sucking wind. "All right, water break." "My bad. Pancakes were a mistake." We clustered by a bench overlooking the water, the fog parting just enough to reveal a lone rower slicing through the mist like a ghost ship. Wyatt handed me his bottle without a word, our fingers brushing electric. Accidental. Or not. I chugged, wiping my mouth, and caught him watching. Not the trail, not Sam. Me. "You two gossipy hens done?" Sam ribbed, already bouncing on his toes. "Push it, Alex. Show Wyatt what UW track dropouts can do." We surged ahead, Sam pulling even, but Wyatt matched me stride for stride. The trail narrowed, forcing us closer, our arms grazing with every pump. Sweat beaded on his temple, tracing a path down his neck into the collar of his gray tee damp, clinging. I forced my eyes forward, but my pulse thrummed not from the run. 3 miles. The fog thickened, swallowing the world to just us three, echoes of footsteps, ragged breaths, the slap of soles on stone. Sam veered off for a pit stop behind some shrubs, waving us on. "Don't wait, I'll catch up." Slowpokes, and then it was just Wyatt and me. The trail curved toward the reservoir, the air heavy with pine and possibility. He didn't say anything at first, just ran silent, steady. But his pace synced with mine perfectly, like we'd rehearsed it in some dream I couldn't remember. "You ever feel like you're running from something?" he asked finally, voice pitched low, almost lost to the rhythm. I swallowed, throat dry despite the water. "All the time." "You?" He glanced sideways, blue eyes piercing the haze. "More than you know. Kid. The word stung, a reminder of the line between us. Sam's little brother, the tag-along. But the way he said it, soft around the edges, made it feel like something else. Like an invitation. We hit the reservoir's edge, the water a mirror of slate, reflecting the first blush of sunrise. Sam was a dot in the distance, still zipping up. Wyatt slowed to a walk, then stopped altogether, turning to face me. Gravel crunched. My heart echoed it. "Alex," he said, and there it was, that grip on my arm, fingers digging in like roots. The world narrowed to his face, stubble-shadowed jaw, lips parted on a breath that tasted of confession. "I can't pretend anymore. It's you. It's always been you." Before I could process the shock, the thrill, the terror, his mouth was on mine. Not gentle. Hungry. His hands cupped my face, thumbs tracing my jaw as if mapping a route he'd memorized in the dark. I gasped into it, tasting mint and sweat and the faint bitterness of unspoken years. My body betrayed me, leaning in, fingers fisting his shirt, pulling him closer as the fog wrapped us like a shroud. When he pulled back, eyes wild, chest heaving, the silence roared. "Fuck," he muttered, forehead to mine. "I've wanted that since the day Sam brought you to that game. Watched you cheer, all fire and light, and thought, this kid's gonna ruin me." I staggered back a step, the kiss burning on my lips like a brand. "Wyatt. Sam. This. I know." His voice cracked, raw as exposed wire. "But hiding it is killing me. And I think it's killing you too." In the distance, Sam's whistle pierced the mist, a summons back to reality. But in that suspended heartbeat, with Wyatt's taste lingering and his gaze holding me captive, I glimpsed a truth I'd buried deep. The ache wasn't just mine. It was ours. And it was about to tear everything apart. Sam caught up a quarter-mile later, oblivious, slapping high-fives like we'd just summit Everest. "What? You two lovebirds whispering secrets back there? My calves are screaming. Next time, no pancakes." Wyatt forced a laugh, slinging his arm around Sam's shoulders. Brotherly, easy, the mask snapping back into place. But his eyes flicked to me, a silent apology laced with hunger. I nodded, barely, my lips still tingling, the trail blurring as we looped back toward the Jeep. Every step felt like wading through molasses, my mind replaying the kiss in high def, the scrape of his stubble, the way his breath hitched when I kissed back. What the hell had I done? What had we done? The drive home was a minefield of small talk. Sam dominating, recapping the run like it was Olympic footage. Wyatt chiming in with dry wit that masked the tension coiling between us. I stared out the window at the waking city, Coffee shops flickering to life, joggers pounding pavement, the Space Needle piercing the clouds like a defiant middle finger to the gloom. Seattle, my anchor and my cage, progressive on the surface, but under it, the same old American undercurrents of judgment and silence. Dad was in the garage when we pulled up, tinkering with his '72 Ford pickup, grease up to his elbows. "How'd it go, boys? No casualties. Alex tried to kill us," Sam grinned, hopping out. "But we survived." "Wyatt's buying brunch, aren't ya, buddy?" Wyatt shot him a mock glare. "He's jingling." "Only if you foot the beer tab later." "Deal." As they bantered, I slipped inside, beelining for the bathroom. Cold water on my face, staring at the mirror, flushed cheeks, swollen lips. "You're straight, right?" The lie I'd fed myself since high school, when crushes on girls fizzled into polite handshakes while locker room glances lingered too long. Art school helped, a queer collective on campus, drag nights at the strangers' parties, but coming out, to this family, Sam would laugh it off at first. Then, "What? The brother who'd defended me from bullies but tossed around slurs like confetti? Dad? Who'd loved Mom through chemo but never talked feelings?" A knock rattled the door. "Alex? You alive in there?" Wyatt's voice, low and urgent. I cracked it, peering out. He slipped in, locking it behind him, too close in the tiny space, his cologne mixing with sweat, a heady fog. "We gotta talk. Here? Now?" My whisper was half panic, half plea. His hand found my waist, thumb circling an echo of the trail. Couldn't wait. That kiss. It wasn't a mistake. "But Sam," the doorknob jiggled. "Yo, what's the lock for? Alien abduction?" Sam's muffled joke. Wyatt stepped back, schooling his face. "Just plotting how to ditch your ass at brunch." Laughter, then footsteps retreating. We exhaled in unison. "Tonight," he murmured. "After they crash. Meet me at the pier." "Midnight." I nodded, throat tight. "Okay." Brunch dragged at Elliott Bay, clinking silverware. Sam devouring oysters like a Viking. Wyatt sketching on a napkin with a pen he'd pulled from God knows where. I picked at my eggs Benedict, stealing glances. The way his inked fingers moved, deliberate and sure, imagining them on my skin. He caught me once, winked, subtle, devastating. Under the table, his foot nudged mine, a Morse code of weight. By afternoon, the house settled into its Sunday stupor. Dad napping with the game on low, Sam out cold on the couch after one too many IPAs. I retreated to my room, laptop open to a blank canvas, digital art my escape, pixels bleeding into abstracts of chaos. But today, my stylus traced Wyatt's profile, sharp jaw, shadowed eyes, a secret smile. Save as forbidden. Midnight crept in on velvet feet. I texted Sam a lie, crashing at a friend's, grabbed my jacket, and slipped out the back. The streets of Capitol Hill hummed with weekend stragglers. Queer kids spilling from bars in glitter and leather, the air thick with weed and possibility. I walked the 5 blocks to the waterfront, the pier jutting into Elliott Bay like a promise. Wyatt was there, silhouetted against the fairy lights twinkling across the water. No camera tonight, just him, hands in pockets, wind tousling his hair. He turned as I approached, pulling me into a hug that lingered, his chin resting on my head. "Missed you." Even 2 hours felt like forever. We walked the length of the pier, shoulders brushing, the city lights dancing on black waves. He talked first, easing in, like warming up a shot. Gigs in Portland, an ex who ghosted after coming out drama, the freelance grind that kept him rootless. Sam's my rock, he said, voice softening. Saved my ass more times than I can count. But you're the spark I didn't see coming. I stopped by the railing, gripping the cold metal. I'm scared, Wyatt. Sam's not just my brother, he's my everything. And Dad. God, if he knew. He leaned beside me, close enough that our pinkies touched, a lifeline. I get it. My folks in Spokane cut me off when I told them at 19. Said I was confused, then stopped calling. Sam's the family I chose. But this, his fingers laced with mine, squeezing. Worth the risk. The kiss that followed was slower, deliberate, exploring, like he was memorizing me for a roll of film. Hands roaming under jackets, breaths mingling with the salt air. We broke apart only when a fairy horn blared, reality crashing back. Let's take it slow, he murmured against my temple. No telling Sam yet. Just us. The word bloomed in my chest, warm and terrifying. We parted with a final brush of lips, promises hanging in the air like stars. But secrets in Seattle have a way of unraveling like fog at dawn. Monday blurred into routine. Classes at UW, life drawing where models held poses like frozen confessions, lectures on American lit that dissected hidden desires in Whitman. I texted Wyatt under the desk, "Miss your laugh." He fired back a photo. His Jeep dashboard, coffee steaming, caption thinking of trails. That night, Sam cornered me in the kitchen, cracking a beer. You bailed early yesterday. Everything cool? Yeah. Just tired. Lie number 2. Bitter on my tongue. He eyed me, popping the tab. Wyatt mentioned you seemed off on the run. Said you two had a moment or something. His grin was teasing, but his eyes probed. My stomach dropped. A moment? Like what? Sam shrugged, leaning on the counter. Dunno. He got all cryptic. Kids got layers, whatever that means. I forced a laugh, heart pounding. Poetic bullshit. He's always like that, but doubt seated. Was Wyatt slipping, testing waters? Midweek. We stole time, a coffee at Vivace, knees knocking under the table, his foot hooking my ankle like a vow. He showed me proofs from a shoot. Gritty portraits of drag queens in the U District, fierce and unapologetic. This is America, Alex, he said, tracing a photo's edge. The messy, beautiful underbelly. We fit here. I believed him. In his passenger seat after, parked in a shadowed lot near Gas Works Park. We fogged the windows, kisses turning urgent, hands tentative explorers. His shirt rode up, revealing a tattoo I'd only glimpsed. A compass rose over his ribs, needle pointing true north. For direction, he whispered, guiding my fingers there. When I lost mine, I didn't push for the story. Not yet. Instead, I let him pull me closer, the world shrinking to vinyl seats and whispered names. But Friday shattered it. Sam texted mid-lecture, Wyatt's coming over. Barbecue. Bring your A game. Home by 6. The backyard was alive, string lights twinkling, Dad manning the grill with tongs like a scepter. Neighbors milled, beers in hand, the American dream in checkered tablecloths and potato salad. Wyatt arrived last, bearing a six-pack and that smile, hugging Sam like armor. Dinner blurred. Small talk about the Sounders season. Dad's war stories from Nam retold softer each year. I sat across from Wyatt, our eyes locking over flames, electric, dangerous. Under the table, his sneaker nudged mine. Morse code, hold on. Post-meal, Sam dragged him to the garage for guy time. Pool table, classic rock, shots of Dad's bourbon. I lingered in the kitchen, washing dishes, when Wyatt slipped in for ice. Door swung shut. He backed me against the sink, mouth on mine, quick, fierce. Needed that, he breathed. Footsteps. We sprang apart as Sam burst in. Ice? Really? You're hogging the hay. What's with the faces? Wyatt recovered first, tossing cubes into glasses. Your brother's giving me shit about my Mariners bias. Kid's brutal. Sam chuckled, but his gaze lingered on me, sharp, searching. Yeah, you two been thick as thieves lately. The air thickened. Wyatt clapped his shoulder. Jealous? Come on. Let's rack 'em up. They vanished, leaving me adrift. Later, as embers died, Wyatt caught me by the fence. Sam's asking questions. We gotta be careful. I nodded, but fear gnawed. Careful? In this house of half-truths, that night, sleep evaded. Dreams tangled, Wyatt's compass spinning wild, Sam's face twisting in betrayal. Dawn broke gray, and with it, the first crack. Wyatt's text, trouble. Call me. I dialed from the trail, our trail, pacing the gravel like a caged wolf, phone pressed to ear as if it could bridge the miles to Wyatt's studio apartment in Fremont. The line crackled, then his voice, strained, edged with gravel. Alex. Shit. Sam's here, my blood iced. What? How? He showed up unannounced. Bourbon in hand. All bro talk. I think he knows. Or suspects. Kept circling around you? Alex seems different. You two hanging more? I played it off. But the fog from Sunday had lifted, leaving the reservoir stark under a watery sun, exposed, vulnerable. I sank onto a bench, head in hands. What do we do? A pause, heavy as lead. Meet me. Now. Trollhagen. 10 minutes. I was there in 8. Jeep keys jangling from a frantic sprint home. The old Scandinavian deli squatted on the corner, its red facade a beacon in the drizzle, aromas of gravlax and fresh rye spilling out like a siren's call. Wyatt waited in a corner booth, hood up, stirring coffee black as his mood. When I slid in opposite, he reached across, squeezing my hand under the table, a lifeline in the storm. Tell me, I said, voice barely above the clink of mugs. He exhaled, slow. Last night, after the barbecue, Sam got hammered. Rare for him, he's the steady one. Starts venting about work, life, then. You. Said you've been distant, pulling away since college. Asked if I'd noticed you acting weird. I said nah, just growing up. But his eyes, Alex, like he was fishing, my gut twisted. Sam, the protector, now the inquisitor. He's not blind. We've been sloppy. Wyatt's thumb stroked my knuckles, a soothing rhythm. No. We've been alive. First time in years for me. His gaze dropped, shadows pooling. After my ex, Evan, He bailed when I wouldn't stay in the closet for his family's sake. Said I was too much drama. Sam's the only one who stuck. No questions. Telling him now, it'd gut him. The waitress swung by, oblivious, refilling waters. I ordered a lingonberry soda just to have something to grip. Then what? Hide forever? This city's got pride flags on every corner. But our house? Still don't ask. Don't tell, wrapped in flannel. He leaned in, voice dropping. We come clean. Together. But smart after I talked to him alone. Gauge it. Panic flared. And if he flips? You're his brother in all but blood. Wyatt's jaw set. That scar whitening. Then I lose him. But I won't lose you. The words hung, a vow etched in steam. We lingered an hour, stolen touches, murmured plans, before parting with a kiss in the alley behind, rain slicking our skin. Be brave, I thought, watching his Jeep vanish into traffic. Classes that afternoon were torture. Studio critique where my abstract of Wyatt's compass drew murmurs. Edgy, but what's the narrative? If only they knew. By evening, I crashed Sam's truck for a ride home, forced normalcy. He cranked the radio, some Pearl Harbor track rumbling, but tension hummed beneath. You and Wyatt tight these days? Casual, too casual. I kept eyes on the road. Yeah, he's cool. Why? He drummed fingers on the wheel. Just noticed. Good, I guess. Keeps you out of trouble. The lie tasted like ash. Home was a minefield. Dad's pointed silence over dinner, lasagna reheated, talk of the election heating up, Trump's shadow looming like a bad sequel. Sam bailed early for a site walkthrough, leaving me to wash up alone. Wyatt's call came at 11 p.m. Voice wrecked. It's bad. I told him. The phone slipped. What? You said. Couldn't wait. He showed up again. Drunker. Pushed till I cracked. Alex. He punched me. Rage and fear collided. Where are you? I'm coming. No. Stay put. He's home now. Crashing. I locked the door. Iced my jaw. He'll cool off. Cool off? Sam. My rock. Violent. What did he say? A beat. Called me a traitor. Said I preyed on you like you're some kid. Thinks it's a phase for you. But me? I'm the villain. Wyatt's breath hitched. I told him it's real. That I love. Don't. The word escaped. Sharp. Love? Too soon. Too fragile. Silence stretched. Then, yeah. Sorry. Just get some sleep. We'll fix this. Sleep? Impossible. I paced my room, rain lashing the window like accusations. By dawn, a text from Sam, we need to talk. Kitchen. Now. He was at the table when I shuffled down, coffee steaming, I bags deep as the sound. Bruises bloomed on his knuckles. Sit. I did. Legs jelly. Sam. Save it. His voice was steel wrapped in hurt. Wyatt spilled. All of it. The kisses. The sneaking. How long? Months. Kinda. Lie by omission, we'd barely started. He rubbed his temples. A man aged a decade overnight. Christ. Alex. He's my best friend. I trusted him with you, like family. And you. You're my little brother. The one I swore to protect. Tears pricked. I didn't plan it. It just happened. like a car crash. His laugh was bitter. Yeah, well, it wrecked everything. He looked me in the eye last night, said he cares about you. Like that's supposed to make it okay? Betraying me? Not betrayal. My voice rose, cracking. Love isn't a zero-sum game, Sam. You don't own us. He flinched, then surged up, chair scraping. Love? You're 22, figuring shit out. He's 30, knows better. This is Seattle, not some rainbow utopia. Dad hears this. It'll kill him. After Mom, the ghost between us. Cancer stole her words, left us with echoes. Dad loved her through hell. He'd want us happy. Sam's eyes blazed. Happy? This'll tear us apart. He stormed out, door slamming like a guillotine. Crumpled, sobs racking raw. American grief. The kind bottled in ballparks and backyards, exploding in quiet homes. Wyatt arrived an hour later, slipping in the back. His jaw swelled purple, but his arms around me were steady. Hey. Breathe. We curled on my bed. Whispers in the dark, his story spilling. The Spokane rejection, Evan's ghosting, the compass tattoo inked after a suicide hotline call at 21. Rock bottom, he murmured. Sam pulled me up. Now I've blown it. No, I traced the ink, heart aching. We'll rebuild, but doubt festered. Days blurred. Sam civil but cold nods in passing. No more runs. Dad sensed the rift, retreating deeper into his garage fortress. Wyatt and I met in shadows, stolen nights at his place, bodies entwining like lifelines, but the high was laced with low guilt, fear, the ticking bomb of family. 2 weeks in, the blow landed. Sam cornered Wyatt at a dive bar in Ballard. Texts later painted the scene. Accusations flying, glasses shattering. Choose, Sam roared. Him or me? Wyatt's reply, both. Or neither. Sam's ultimatum, then you're dead to me. The betrayal cut deepest, not Wyatt's confession, but Sam's rage. My brother, the hero, reduced to lines in the sand. I drove to Wyatt's that night, rain sheeting the windshield. He opened the door hollow-eyed, bottle in hand. It's over. With him, we fell into bed, desperate skin on skin, gasps echoing the storm outside. But as dawn crept, his whisper broke me. I can't lose you too. The high crashed. What now? The question hung, unanswered. The fracture lines spiderwebbed through everything after that, our home a fault zone, shifting plates underfoot. Sam moved like a specter, early to the site, late returns, his laughter replaced by the clink of solo beers in the garage. Dad noticed, of course, his quiet probes over breakfast, boys fighting again. Met with deflections that hung heavy as humidity. I buried in school, charcoal sketches turning savage, fractured figures in rain-slicked streets, lovers rent by lightning. Wyatt became my harbor. His Fremont walk-up, a third-floor airy overlooking the canal, walls papered in prints of jagged coastlines and urban grit, felt like sanctuary. Nights dissolved into us, cooking ramen doctored with sriracha and scavenged herbs, his camera capturing candids of me sprawled on threadbare rugs, laughing at his terrible impressions of Sam. Watch, he'd say, mugging with exaggerated bro slang. Dude, pass the wing sauce. It hurt, but healed a bridge over the chasm. Sex was revelation, tentative at first, then fervent, American rawness in tangled sheets. His body a map of scars and ink. Mine yielding to touches I'd only imagined in shadowed forms. Beautiful, he'd murmur, tracing my hip bones, as if I were the shot of a lifetime. In those gasps, the world righted, love as defiance, queer and unashamed. But guilt gnawed. One evening, post-coital haze, I voiced it, Sam's fading. I hear him at night, pacing, muttering, Wyatt propped on elbow, blue eyes stormy. He'll come around. Or he won't. Can't control that. Feels like I did this. My voice small, child's plea. He pulled me close, heartbeat steady under my cheek. We did. Together. And I'd do it again. Words like armor. But armor cracks. The high tide of conflict crested mid-October. Leaves turning the parks to fire. Air crisp with cider and regret. Dad called a family summit in the living room. Flannel shirt and stern. The TV muted on a Seahawks pregame. Sam slouched on the couch. Arms crossed. I perched on the armchair. Wyatt absent but looming like a shadow. Enough, Dad rumbled. Hands clasped like in prayer. This house feels like a morgue. Sam's moping like a jilted prom date. Alex, you're sketching like Picasso on acid. Spill. Silence thickened. Sam cracked first. Voice whipcord tight. It's Wyatt. And Alex. They're together. Dad blinked, processing old-school engineer mind whirring. Together how? A beat. Sam's jaw worked. Fucking. Dating. Whatever you call it. The word landed like a gut punch. Dad's face cycled, shock, confusion, a flicker of sorrow. That's so, son, I nodded, throat closing. Yeah. I love him, Dad. Sam snorted, bitter. Love. Right. He's using you, Alex. 30-year-old player sniffing around the kid brother. Enough. Dad's bark echoed off the walls. Rare thunder. Sam, you sound like your uncle after Nam, spouting hate to hide hurt. Alex is a man. Wyatt's family, or was. If this is real, it is, I cut in, surging up. And Sam's not mad at that. He's mad we didn't ask permission. Like loyalty's a transaction. Sam bolted upright, veins bulging. Permission? You snuck around my back. My best friend. Your brother chose happiness? Dad interjected, voice steady as rebar. Remember your ma? She taught us love don't follow rules. It bends him. His eyes, watery now, met mine. Proud of you, kid. For being brave. The room stilled. Sam's face crumpled, rage melting to raw ache. You don't get it. He was my brother too. And now, gone. Dad rose, clapping Sam's shoulder. Awkward, but there. Then fight for both. Or let go. Sam stormed out, back door slamming into night. I followed, finding him on the porch swing, head in hands. Rain pattered, a soft requiem. Sam, he looked up, eyes red-rimmed. Why him, of all people? Because he sees me, simple, shattering. And you could too. A sob escaped him, big, broken. I fucked up. Punched him. Said shit. God, Alex, I'm scared. For you. For us. I sat beside, swing creaking. Scared of losing me? or of what it means that your little bro's queer, and the world's still turning. He nodded, slow. Both. And guilty. For the jokes. The silence. After Mom, I just held on tight. We talked till midnight, unpacking the baggage. His high school crushes buried under macho bullshit, the construction crew slurs he'd echoed to fit. I love you, man. Always will. But Wyatt. Give me time. Relief flooded. Tentative. Take it. But don't shut us out. He hugged me then. Fierce. Bone-crushing. Deal. Wyatt's face when I told him next dawn. Over diner hash browns in the U District. Lit like a negative exposed to light. Thinks he can waltz back? After the shiner. I laughed. Stealing his bacon. Not waltz. Earn. Like we are. The thaw began unevenly. Sam texting Wyatt a curt beer? Neutral ground. They met at a Fremont brewery. Craft IPAs flowing. Apologies awkward as ill-fitting shoes. Sam later confessed. Told him I was wrong. Scared shitless. But wrong. Just don't hurt him, or I'll bury you in concrete. Wyatt's reply, never, but harmony's fragile. November winds howled, stripping trees bare, mirroring the strip search of truths. Dad warmed slow, gruff questions over breakfast. That Wyatt fellow, good with tools. Invitations to fix the truck together. Progress. American style. Incremental. Laced with humor. Then Carter entered, like a plot twist in a noir film. Wyatt's ex. Evan? No. Carter was the wild card. A gallery owner from his Portland days. Sharp-suited and silver-tongued. Crashing a UW art show where Wyatt debuted my sketches. Anonymized. But mine. I spotted them post-reception. Carter's hand on Wyatt's arm. Laughed too familiar. Who's that? I asked later. In bed. Voice edged. Wyatt sighed. Tracing my spine. Old flame. Business. Mostly scouting prints. Harmless, but jealousy coiled. Green and venomous. Texts I glimpsed. Miss our nights. Come visit? Wyatt deleted them, but doubt lingered. The confrontation brewed at Thanksgiving. Our table expanded. Sam's tentative invite to Wyatt accepted. Dad carved turkey with ceremony. Stuffing steaming. The Mariners on TV in the background. Laughter flowed. Tentative bridges. Carter's call interrupted dessert. Wyatt's phone buzzing insistent. He stepped out. Voice low. Minutes stretched. Sam shot me a look. You good? When Wyatt returned. Face ashen. Carter's in town. Needs a favor, crash for the night. My fork clattered. Here? No. Hotel. But he's spiraling. Old wounds. Sam's brow furrowed. This the ex. Wyatt nodded. Reluctant. Yeah. The one who bailed. The air soured. Dad cleared throat. Handle your messes, son. But not on our dime. Wyatt left post-pie, promising, tomorrow. Tomorrow came with storm clouds. I woke to an empty drive. Sam's truck gone, work call. Dad at the VA for volunteers. Alone. I scrolled Wyatt's Insta stupid. Masochistic. A story. Carter's arm around him at a dive. Caption reunions hit different. Rage boiled. I drove to the Hotel Hilton downtown. Anonymous gleam. Knocked on Carter's door. Heart hammering. He answered in silk robe. Smirking. Mid-30s. Polished predator. blonde, chiseled, eyes like deal-closing sharks. Alex, right? Wyatt's protege. Fuck off. Venom spilled. Stay away from him. Carter laughed. Low. Jealous? Cute. But Wyatt and I? History. The kind that pulls. The door shut on my retort. I texted Wyatt. At the Hilton. Saw your story. Done. His reply, wait. Please. I didn't. Drove blind through rain-lashed streets. Tears mixing with wipers. Betrayal sting familiar. Familial. Wyatt found me at the pier, our pier, midnight tolling like a dirge. Soaked. He dropped to knees before me. Carter's lying. Showed up wasted. Crashed my Jeep ride. The photo? Set up. I told him we're over. For good. Proof. Deleted posts. A blocked number screenshot. I chose you, Alex. That night with Sam? Worth every bruise. I searched his face, vulnerable. Stripped. Prove it. He did. A proposal. Not ring but raw. Move in. With me. Build this for real. The kiss sealed it, salt and rain. Redemption's taste. But as we walked back, arm in arm, Sam's text lit my phone. Carter called. Said you're breaking Wyatt. What's the play? The web tightened. Trust. Fragile as November frost. December descended on Seattle like a velvet shroud. Twinkling lights strung across Pike Place. Evergreens lashed in tinsel. The air sharp with pine and chimney smoke. But our holiday cheer was a tightrope. Sam's truce holding by threads. Dad's acceptance blooming in quiet gestures. A pride sticker on the fridge. Half joking. Wyatt's studio now our space. My easel in the corner. His camera lenses glinting like promises. Carter's shadow lingered, though a specter at the feast. His reunion stunt escalated. Voicemails Wyatt deleted. Gallery invites laced with nostalgia bait. Sam, ever the fixer, dug in post-text. That prick's trouble. I ran his name, lawsuit in Portland. Some assault beef swept under NDAs. Protective, but probing. You sure about Wyatt? Exes like that scream baggage. I defended. Fierce. He's not his past, but seeds of wonder sprouted. Why the compass? The hotline call? Christmas Eve. We gathered, extended now. Wyatt at the table, carving ham with Dad's old knife. Laughter rang true. Sam's toast slurring sentimental. To family, the kind that sticks. Blood or bourbon. Dad's eyes misty over Mom's recipe eggnog. Wyatt's gift to me. A leather-bound sketchbook. First page inked with our trail. Gravel hearts. Fog-kissed. Our story, he whispered. Kissing my temple under mistletoe. Sam hung with a wink. But midnight mass at St. Mark's cracked the facade. Carter materialized in the nave, suited, somber, slipping into our pew like absolution sought. Wyatt stiffened. Sam's hand clenched on the hymnal. What the fuck? He muttered. Post-service. Outside in the crisp night. Carter cornered us. Breath fogging. Ice fever bright. Wyatt. Need to talk. Alone. No. Wyatt's arm around me. Steel. Carter's gaze slid to me. Then Sam calculating. Fine. Then this. He thrust an envelope at Wyatt, thick. Official. Subpoena. From the Portland suit. Your name's dragged in, witness to my indiscretions. Help me bury it, or it buries you. Wyatt paled, snatching it. This is blackmail. Carter's smile twisted. Survival. We were good once. Remember, the punch was Sam's. Sudden, righteous, connecting with Carter's jaw like karma's gavel. Touch my family again. You're the one buried. Sirens wailed distant. We scattered, Wyatt and I to the jeep, Sam and Dad melting into the crowd. Home was locked down. Doors bolted. Bourbon poured. Wyatt spilled over the envelope. The Portland mess. Carter's assault charge from a bar fight turned ugly. Wyatt's photos evidence twisted into complicity. I walked away clean. But he won't let go. Why me? Pressed. Fear coiling. Us. Collateral. Wyatt's voice broke. He senses weakness, our newness. Wants to drag me back. Dawn brought resolve. Sam. Nursing knuckles. Brokered. Lawyer up. I'll drive you to Tacoma. Friend's a PI. Dad nodded. Gruff. No more running. Boys. Face it like men. The week blurred. Depositions in a sterile office overlooking the sound. Carter's bluster crumbling under cross-exam. Lies unraveling like cheap yarn. Wyatt testified steady. Compass steady. I left because it was toxic. End of story. By New Year's, the suit dropped. Carter slinking to LA. Tail between legs. Relief washed, but scars etched deeper. Wyatt opened fully that eve. Fireworks blooming over the Ferris wheel at the Space Needle. On his balcony, champagne fizzing. The compass? After Evan left, I spiraled booze. Bad gigs. A night I almost didn't wake up. Sam found me, hauled me to NA. Inked it as reminder. Find your north. I traced it, tears salting the ink. You did. Me? He cupped my face. Eyes oceans. Always north. Alex. You. Sam's redemption arc peaked there, showing at midnight with Dad. Bear hugs and sparklers. Family's messy, he slurred, arm around Wyatt. But it's ours. No more ultimatums. The high carried into spring, trails reclaimed. Jogs a trio now. Banter laced with inside jokes. My senior show at UW. Abstracts of us, kisses in fog. Fists unclenching, sold out. Wyatt's photos intermingled. Dad beamed from the front row. Sam whooping like a fanboy. But humanity's arc bends slow. One June evening, post-run, Sam pulled me aside by the reservoir, water lapping gentle. Proud of you, little bro. For fighting. For loving loud. I hugged him, fierce. Learned from the best. Wyatt waited, hand out, ours intertwined, a circuit complete. The sun dipped, painting the sky in hues of forgiveness. Pinks and golds, American as apple pie and endless roads. We ran home together, not from shadows, but toward light. Shocked? Once. Amazed? Eternally. In the end, love wasn't the thunderclap kiss on the trail. It was the quiet miles after, the grit, the grace, the glue of family reforged. Seattle's rain fell soft, washing clean, as we crossed the threshold, whole, if weathered. And in that, the truest happily ever after, not fairy tale, but flesh and bone, queer and unyielding.